Hey everybody, Christy here. I had some garden chores to get done today, so I thought I would just set up my camera on a tripod and just get it done. And I'm here to let you know what I did. Um, I had two goals in mind to fertilize my green stalks and also to plant out this last one that's disassembled on the bench here. This is my herb tower. I have a lot of empty spaces I've been wanting to fill with like different varieties of mint or some chives, some other things, and I've been trying to find when I can these plants at nurseries, but I haven't had any luck finding chives. I bought some seeds and I started those, but then today I got impatient and decided I don't want to wait around for those chives to maybe sprout. They were pretty old seeds. So I went to the feed store and they had some herb starts, including chives and some mint that I didn't have, like a spearmint and some sage and a lighter color of oregano and some, I think I got some rosemary, forget what else, parsley, I think, so that I can finally get this thing stacked up and hooked up to my watering system and ready to go. But before I get to the fertilizing project, or actually the planting project, I need to fertilize my green stalks. And while I was watering the one by hand, I had my watering system hooked up and running on the ones that are already assembled. So that it's important to, if you're going to fertilize, it's important to water first. You don't want to just apply your fertilizer to dry soil. So I gave them a good watering and made sure that all the planters were running water out the bottom before I started the fertilizing. And now I've just gone to So with green stock planters, the way you fertilize is kind of the same way you usually would water. You pour about 2 gallons, I'd say, of water in the top reservoir. Um, I'm using, like I said, an automatic watering system on mine, but if you didn't have that, that's how you would water. You could either use your hose and wait until it fills to the top of the reservoir, or you can just do like a whole bucket at a time. And so that's how I do the fertilizer. Right here, I'm using Fox Farms Grow Big liquid fertilizer, and I'm just putting a couple teaspoons. It's about a 2 gallon bucket. I think I put a few teaspoons in. I kind of eyeballed it, and then filled it up with water. And then I'm gonna go and pour one entire bucket into each green stalk one by one. So here I've got the first bucket filled up. Just gonna go and dump it on in all at once. And then it will slowly trickle down. There's little gray water reservoirs in between each layer of the green stalk. And so the way it works, it's just going to trickle down to each level so that all of the levels will be watered and fertilized evenly. So now I'm just going to go through and fertilize all 7 of these guys. You can see I'm putting the black lids on the top as I go, and I'm really glad I did that because at one point I tried to go back with a bucket to one I had just fertilized, and that wouldn't have been good. So the lid stopped me from doing it a second time. By the way, those lids are new. The green stalks don't actually come with those. They just brought them out when they introduced their watering system, and I believe you can buy them separately, but they don't come with the green stalk. But they're really good for keeping leaves and debris out of your water reservoirs. That's why you'll see I have those little white nets on the tops of mine. Those are actually paint bucket strainers that I got at the hardware store, which was my solution for keeping stuff out of the water reservoir before, but now I have the lids, so they're kind of redundant, but I just keep them on there anyway, just in case. All right, quick detour through the house. Hi, Logan. I actually decided at the last minute to plant some cilantro that I have growing in my indoor aero garden. I have the seed starting kit on. Here I am setting up the tripod. Sorry for the shaky camera. um, This is a seed starting kit that you can buy. It doesn't come with the Aero Garden, but it's meant for starting seeds that you will then transplant outdoors. And I had started some cilantro in these little sponges. I'm just trimming off the excess weeds. It makes it easier to plant them when you don't have all those not weeds, roots dangling off. And I know I said in another video that it's always good to direct sow cilantro because it doesn't like to be transplanted, but here I am breaking my own rule, mostly because I had seeds for cilantro planted in the green stalk already for, I don't know, at least a week now, but they take forever to germinate and I'm just getting impatient. And I have 4 of these growing inside anyway, so I figure why not? I'm just going to stick them in there and see what happens. And we're back outside. So I'm just going to get everything arranged the way I want it, deciding what to put where. I've got my worm castings that I like to put in the planting hole whenever I plant something new. I just figure it gives them a little boost of nutrition. All right, so I guess I'll speed this up for you. Here I am planting the cilantro and all the transplants I bought, the starts that I bought at the farm store, and then I'm gonna finally be ready to stack this thing up. And here I start having a little trouble deciding where I want to put things. I'm kind of the type of person who likes to have things kind of symmetrical or in order, and I found myself with an extra oregano and an extra couple of parsleys that just didn't feel like I had the right spot to put them in, and this is why I stood here trying to make a decision for a while. Ultimately, I had two extra parsleys actually, and I decided to evict a couple of these dill plants, and then I felt bad about evicting them, so I took them over to the random flower bed to just stick them in the ground. And hey, if they make it, congratulations. If not, oh well, I tried. And we're finally ready to stack this thing up. Uh, Here you can see the gray discs that I talked about. Those collect the water between the levels as it goes down from the top. As you stack, it's super important to get the thing, they have little notches that line up, and it's really important to make sure that everything is level. Otherwise, it's a lot more likely that this thing can tip over if something's just not quite aligned. So I'm being extra careful to make sure everything's lined up. And then we put the top water reservoir on and finally ready to water. And that's it, all done. Feels great to have this one checked off the list. It's been kind of nagging at me for a little while. It's kind of useful having a YouTube channel because I'm finding that I have a lot more reason to get a project done. Tomorrow I'm going to hook up this one to the watering system and I'll show you how that's done step by step. It's actually pretty simple. And so I'll take you right through it. Here we have the basil. That's right, I didn't mention basil is on the top. That's all seeds that I sowed. I might come in with transplants later on if I find a couple of different varieties I want, but for now, we'll just wait and see if the seeds decide to germinate. And there you have it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.